صدري بيسرى.
الحمد لله رب العالمين وأفضل الصلاة وأتم التسليم على سيدنا مولانا محمد وآله وصحبه أجمعين. Alhamdulillah, we were looking at raising children the Islamic way, which would help them to lead fulfilling lives in this world and to achieve success and happiness in the hereafter. We looked at the idea of Tarbiya, which is nurturing something until it reaches its completion, and we saw how that is connected to the idea of fitra, to the natural condition, the natural state of a child, and how we should foster that for the child to grow up in the Islamic way. Inshallah, continuing from there, our ulama tell us that the process of raising a child begins before the child is born. Yes, the process of raising a child actually begins before the child's birth, which means that it is connected to the mother and the father, the idea of marriage. So it would serve us to look at some of the purposes, some of the benefits, some of the meanings of marriage. We see that marriage is connected to the human state, to the human condition. We have physical desires, we have needs which need to be fulfilled in the halal way. We have psychological desires as well, emotional desires, a desire for love, a desire for companionship, and marriage facilitates that in our society. Islam does not encourage Rabbaniya. You do not need to go into monasticism. You do not need to separate yourself from society, become reclusive, not to have relations with the opposite sex. Yes, there are certain conditions whereby it is maybe appropriate for a person not to get married. In the case of an individual not being able to fulfill the rights and obligations of a spouse, in the case of an individual fearing that they would be oppressive towards their spouse or they would harm their spouse, then it is better according to the Sharia for that individual not to get married. But those are exceptions, those are not the norms. And also, marriage is something that is connected to the fitrah, to our natural state, to our primary state, which is always inclined towards that which is good, that which is beautiful, that which is pure. Another reason for marriage is for the continuation of the human race. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that He created for us, from amongst us, spouses through whom we have children and grandchildren. وَجَعَلَ لَكُمْ مِنْ أَزْوَاجِكُمْ بَنِينَ وَحَفَدًا. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has regulated the way in which the human race is to flourish and to move forward. Another reason for marriage is that it preserves our lineage. And the overriding aims of Sharia, which is to elevate the human being, is that the Sharia came to preserve our religion, the Sharia came to preserve our lives, the Sharia came to preserve our intellect, it came to preserve our wealth, and it came to preserve our lineage. So when we know who our father and our mother is, and our lineage going back, then that gives us a sense of respect. So marriage confers honor upon the human race. A fourth reason for getting married is that it protects society from immorality. The Prophet ﷺ tells us that those of us who can marry should marry, because it allows us to lower our gaze and to channel our desires in the right way. And this was addressed to the youth. And the Prophet ﷺ said that if we cannot get married, then we should fast, because that suppresses the sexual desire. The Prophet ﷺ further said that if an individual comes to ask for your daughter's hand in marriage, and he is of upright character and his religion is upright, then you should go ahead with that proposal. Otherwise, trials will afflict the earth and corruption will be widespread. And unfortunately, we see that today in regards to immorality. within our society. Also, the Prophet ﷺ said that a woman is married for 4 reasons: for her wealth, for her beauty, for her lineage, and for her deen. And the Prophet ﷺ said, marry the one with the deen so that you may flourish. فَاظْفَرْ بِذَاتِ دِينٍ تَرِبَتْ يَدَاكَ. That means that win or succeed with the deen. May your hand be in the soil. And the ulama have interpreted that in various ways. One of the ways is that may you gain success through this. Also, marriage gives us a spiritual tranquility. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran that He created spouses for us so that we may live in tranquility. لِتَسْكُنُوا إِلَيْهِ, so that we may live in tranquility with them. And this sakina is a very deep kind of a peace. It's a literal stillness, spiritual and physical stillness. So its benefits are immense. Also, the Quran tells us that وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَكُمْ مَوَدَّةً وَرَحْمَةً, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala placed between the spouses love and mercy, so that they may attain the beautiful benefits of getting married. And mawadda is a very special deep kind of a love, where you are constantly inclining towards the one that you love. So these are some of the reasons for getting married. And when we keep these standards in our mind, and we know that they are from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then we engage in marriage, the benefits that will accrue from this will be immense. And there will be also a guidance for us in choosing the appropriate spouses. And this will, without a doubt, have an impact upon the offspring that will be a result of these marriages. Inshallah, we will carry on with the discussion on this in the next session. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.